Hello, my friends. This is Terence, Wright of Wright Mpressions, giving you some of the most inspirational thoughts and conversations that are so nice they'll make you want to digest it. I have to go into this and tell you the disclaimer: the music that you hear and the words that are spoken are not necessarily of the viewers. They are solely the views of Terence Wright of Wright Mpressions. So, therefore, there you go as far as your disclaimer. Today is April 12th, 2021, and today's topic is going to be good ways to motivate yourself. Good ways that we can motivate ourselves. I think if we reflect back on a time when you were just in despair and you didn't know what ways to turn to let things flow, or how to get things in order, or how to get things behind you, or how to get the good things in front of you, whether it be school, a relationship, or a job. How do you keep yourself motivated to do those things? Some of us take kindly to second opinions. Some of us just hate advice. If you believe, it can work wonders. We're going to go into our list and our topics. And the best thing that you can do is let go of the goals that overwhelm you and set attainable goals that energize you. Imagine your future if you don't motivate yourself. You can reflect on your past successes, use positive feelings to stay motivated. And you always have to remind yourself of the reason why you wanted to start those things in the first place. So you have to find motivation to get those things done. A great sense of motivation is not merely just tying your shoes, but when you have a lot of things up against you and they have to be done, and they have to be done in a certain amount of time, whether it be you have to remotivate yourself. Or you have to seek motivation from somewhere, whether that's through calling up a friend, a coworker, or just praying. You have to find a way and an avenue that's going to motivate you and keep you satisfied to get those things done. So in order to get them done, you have to be able to have a sound mind. And of course, a good night's rest always helps. Or whatever you do to calm yourself always helps. So those are some of the things we know that would help us from the start. But getting motivated can be tough. And it can be more challenging than getting through a lot of days' work. And we understand that. But one of the good starts to getting motivated, don't wait for the motivation to catch up with you. Always stay ahead of your motivation. Think about it, reflect back on it, and just slide on into it. You gotta sometimes put down your remote, sometimes put down your cell phone, sometimes don't answer your phone because you're trying to just get your day and get that kick and get it started to move it in the right direction. You can break tasks down smaller and make them more manageable steps that you have to go through. If you know that you have a test, don't always put yourself in a position that you run out of time. Put yourself in a position that you can break it down during certain parts of the day or week, or however ahead it has to be. Or if you're trying to get a promotion at work and they give you a bunch of crib notes that you got to go by, give yourself time to set it up in a good time frame to make it happen. Create positive mindsets by asking yourself what's good and what's bad about this situation that you're embarking on and what you're going into. Great positive feelings you have to create by writing things down is a great way. If you write things down, trust me, you're more apt to go by that list. You're more apt to refer back to that list. And before you know it, it's done. It's finished. So when you create all those positive feelings that you feel and that you want to go through, I mean, no one can tell you how to feel about certain situations. We can reflect back on what we've been through. You can make mental notes that way. So be kind to yourself when you make a mistake. Think about it, pray about it, and go back to the task at hand. You got to know that mistakes are a necessary part of your progress. So all you got to do is accept them and learn from them. They're just mistakes. We all make them. We all can be perpetually unmindful of what we're about to go through. But trust and believe, my friends, prayer helps. You got to let go of the goals that overwhelm you and set attainable goals that will more or less energize you. It could be the same problem, or find a way and set the attainable goals not too far ahead of you that's going to energize you to getting it done. Studying is the same way. So imagine your future if you don't motivate yourself. Imagine how you crash. Imagine how you fall if you don't motivate yourself. You put the good against the bad, and hopefully that will kick you in gear to getting yourself motivated. The worst thing that you can do is leave this earth and say, I wish I'd done. Break up in a relationship and say, I wish I'd done. Leave an employment and say, I wish I'd have done. So instead of saying that, find a way to remotivate those positive feelings so you can stay in that motivated state. So, and also remind yourself of the reason you're trying to find the motivation in the first place to get those things done. If you remind yourself, this is why I got to do this. This is why I got to do this. Reflect back 2 days later. This is why I got to do this. I got to get this done. I got to get this done. I promise you, you motivating yourself is some of the best advice that you can give yourself. One of the hardest things, and I always say this, one of the hardest things for most of us to do is motivate ourselves. Kick ourselves in gear. Always surround yourself with positive-minded people. Positive-minded people. Have you ever been around a person who's always complaining? When they go places, nothing is right. There's always something wrong. Those aren't positive people. No matter what they do, something is going to happen that they don't appease of. Something's wrong with their meal. Something's wrong at a traffic light. They get frustrated. Something's wrong with the line is too long when they go pick up food or when they call for food. It's always something wrong. So constantly remind yourself of the good. Let the good ideas digest. And eliminate the things that distract you from your focus. Anything that's going to keep you from achieving your goal, eliminate those things that's going to distract you, that's going to be a rock in the road, that's going to be a tree falling. Anything that's not going to be a bridge over your troubled waters, I promise you, it's not going to be good. It's going to slow you down. You start thinking negative thoughts. Some of us, it'll make us change our minds. Always remember, always declutter and organize your mind, because that's your domain, that's your space. It's going to help you motivate yourself. A tidy space is a tidy mind. Always remember that. So if you keep it free of the distractions, free of the negativity, free of the frustrations, free of the rumors, free of the backbiting, you won't have half the battle that you're up against. You can also motivate yourself by even the foods you eat, the music you listen to, the TV shows you watch, the books, or the podcast. Always make sure it's going to be motivated. Look for the people in your life who inspire you to motivate yourself. Keep them in your corner. Keep the conversation going. Those people who inspire you, you can't replace them. And I think every one of us listening to this podcast know there's not that many people that you can go to who are on your side to help you, motivate you, or want the same things that you want for yourself. So always look for the people in your life who help you to motivate you, who want you to be better, who want you to get that promotion, who want you to find a job, who wants you to get off of social services, who want the best for you, who's always going to give you good advice no matter what. You don't want that tainted advice suppressing you, because all it's going to do is weigh on your mind and weigh you down before you know it. Those people who are in your life that really, and you know truly, they want the best for you, you ought to follow those people. One thing you can always do is ask people to help you hold yourself accountable for the things, for your actions, for your thoughts, for what you speak. They got to hold you accountable. You can't want to be those reckless people who are quote unquote narcissistic. That's one word that we abuse nowadays, and we call people out and call them narcissistic. But do we really know what the word narcissistic is? You can't call a person narcissistic if they're compassionate just because you had a miscommunication. That doesn't make them narcissistic. Narcissistic people think everything revolves around them no matter what, the good and the bad. They're not going to say, I missed the deadline because I was lazy. They're going to say, I missed the deadline because I did you a favor. That's narcissist. Everything is somebody else's fault. So, I tell you, my friends, connect your true potential to get the most power out of the way that you think. Get the most power out of the way that you think. We've all been there. We've all lost track here and there. But in a sense, it's not something that we can't overcome. So again, this is Terence Wright. Excuse me, I apologize for my pollen and allergies. This is Terence Wright from Wright Mpressions, giving you the best thoughts, the best motivation, and the best topics that are so nice they'll make you want to digest it. My friends, I thank you for listening to this podcast tonight. And remember, you always need a reason to reason with your emotions or to rationalize why you need to do something and kick it in gear and get it done. You can deal with those negative feelings head on and right then diminish them and get rid of them. So as I close this podcast, I tell you, don't be too proud to pray. Never cease to pray. You pray for me, and I'll continue to pray for you regardless. Keep reaching for the stars, and you'll always be among the top. Again, this is Terence Wright. I know I've been missing for a minute. People have been asking for this podcast, so here it is. God bless you. You have a good night. Peace.